Hello to all my brothers and sisters out there, YouTube universe. Seth Arts back once again, and I won't make a mistake. 19th video. Last time I said 17th video, and it's my 18th. That doesn't matter. This is gonna be a short video for everybody, because I gotta get out of here. But I just wanted to address a question that somebody sent me, and at the same time drop an experience on you, and also drop an exercise on you. Yeah, that's what it's about today. So, first of all, I want to hit all of you with this exercise. I want you to try out for yourself. Excuse me. Um, when you go into your meditations, what I want you to do is get into a relaxed position, close your eyes, and I want you to visualize a pyramid at the back of your head, in the distance, a far distance behind your head. It could be above your head also, but we're going to work with behind your head. And what you want to do is, you want to visualize this pyramid behind your head in the distance. And there's two ways you can do this. If you are not so great yet with your visualization skills, you could visualize yourself walking on a pathway towards this pyramid, and once you enter it, once you get inside this pyramid, there can be, just let your experience take you, whatever it is, but you got to really work on your visual skills, right? So you need to visualize yourself walking on a path towards this pyramid, and excuse me, imagine the feel of the ground beneath your feet. It could be anything you want. This is your visualization. It could be stone, cobblestone, sand. It could be anything you want. Visualize that and get that feeling of it being underneath your feet. Then, once you reach this pyramid, you're going to allow your consciousness to, you're going to give yourself a lot of freedom here. So whatever sensations you get, you have to really just flow with them. Don't go with any preconceived ideas. And also visualize that pyramid, how you want your pyramid to look. It can look like the way the usual pyramids look, the Giza pyramids in Egypt or Kemet, or you could create your own pyramid. You could visualize a pyramid to be whatever way you want it. It could be made from stone, it could be made from glass, it could be made from diamond. But visualize your pyramid. Once you get to that pyramid, like I said, and once you enter it, this is going to be your channel. This pyramid is going to be your access point into other realities, and not just other realities, into meeting your future selves, your past selves, your probable selves, reincarnational selves. All of these things, you're going to let this be your focal point. Because I know a lot of people have trouble saying, well, I can't really focus on going into, these out-of-body states, or I can't focus on doing these astral travels. So what I'm simply doing is just giving you a framework, something to work with. As time goes on, if other ideas pop into your mind, so just say, for example, I'm saying a pyramid. It doesn't have to be a pyramid. I'm just giving you one type of framework to work with. If you want to visualize it as a temple setting, a different type of temple, if you want to visualize it as, I don't want to say a church, because a church has too many religious connotations to it. A lot of people might say a pyramid has some historical connotations and connections with it, but there is a lot of sacred meanings and a lot of sacred knowledge connected to pyramids. So since we live in this three-dimensional physical reality, I figure that a pyramid would be one of the most ancient and easiest ways so that you can feel that you're actually going to access some deeper knowledge in other realities. Because the pyramids are steeped in mystery. So you're trying to contact your mysteries. Now, excuse me, my throat. Yeah. Yeah, what I was saying was, this is going to help you now. A lot of people talk about the Akashic records, and if you want to see it that way, you could, and you could look up online the Akashic records. I don't want to get into all that right now. You've probably heard the term already. But very briefly, it's supposed to have all the knowledge of your being and your existence through all your lives. Well, this is basically the exact same thing, except I'm just dropping that term Akashic records because I'm really trying to help people break away from using certain terms and terminology. We can get caught up into these things. Like I said in other videos, the name game. Um, if you go with Akashic Records, use it. If you want to say, okay, you're going to enter this pyramid and go into your Akashic Records, that's fine. If you don't want to use that term, don't use anything. Some people don't like these terms. Akashic Records, chakra points, Kundalini energy. I said it before, energy is just energy. So for myself personally, I just visualize it as a temple. I'm sorry, a pyramid. And once I get inside this pyramid, there are many different things that could happen. There could be beings waiting for me. There could be probable selves waiting for me. There could be other selves. There's just so many different variations. There's no. That's why I said don't enter with any preconceived ideas. Once you enter this pyramid, whatever you see, it is a valid reality in on another level of reality, and just go with the flow and see what happens, see where it takes you. Now, before I gave the image of walking, that's for people who need to work on their visualization skills. If you are much more adept and skillful in using your talents, you can simply just project your consciousness out from the back of your head into this pyramid. So you sit in your deep meditation state, you close your eyes, visualize that pyramid, and project your consciousness out into the pyramid. And once you go through that pyramid, pretty much it will take you to wherever you want to go. You could have a destination. Say, for example, you could say, all right, well, I want to I want to meet a reincarnational self of mine and see what's going on right now. And as I said before, all time is simultaneous, so your reincarnational selves are existing right now. Don't think in terms of linear time. Most people think of the reincarnational selves, they're thinking of it as, okay, well, 2,000 years ago, just example, I was a fisherman, or I was this, or I was that. No, your reincarnational selves are happening right now, and you can get in contact with them. And this pyramid can be your channel to reach those other selves of yourself and other beings. I may have said it before, but reincarnational selves are simply probable selves. Once again, very briefly, probable selves are just cells of yourself that have split and gone into other directions and taken other paths that you chose not to take. And reincarnational selves are the same thing, just in terms of time. So, example, it would be a probable self would be you. Just say, I gave these examples before. If you want to be a doctor or a lawyer, you chose lawyer. The probable self is the doctor, and that's where the split goes off. Probable selves, it wouldn't be exactly you, but it would be a so-called reincarnational self of you. So it won't look like you, and it could be anything. It could be a man or a woman. If you're a man, don't be surprised to see a woman. If you're a woman, don't be surprised to see a man. I said it before, we're all men and women simultaneous. So, yes, use this pyramid, focus your energy on the pyramid, and let this be your channel and your working point. And when I say channel, I don't mean channel as in, I'm channeling information from the ether. I mean as far as channels such as in like a dial. Let it be your focus point to access other realities. So when you think of it, this is going to be your connection point to the other realms. And once you start doing this enough, every time you enter that pyramid, that is going to be your jump off point. Sort of like well, you could call it, just say for example, like a Stargate kind of. We all know familiar with the movie Stargate. You could visualize this pyramid as your Stargate, as your portal, as your vortex. But once you get inside, you could basically go to wherever you want to go, or you could simply just enter it and see where the energy pulls you to and what direction it's going to take you in. Now, I may have mentioned this in other videos. I don't know if I have or not. But remember, you can, probable selves and reincarnational selves also, there's always bleed-throughs. There's always bleed-throughs coming in. So, like I said, if you, let's say for example that you really was into art, you were really into art when you were younger, but at some point, you graduated high school and university and all this stuff, and you just branched off and you started going other ways and you sort of just left your art career behind. What happens is, if you focus your energy, you could tap into that probable self that continued his path or her path and that continued to be an artist. And what would happen is, if you focus that energy on contacting that other self of yours, you'll start getting bleed-throughs coming in from that reality. And it will show. You'll know it. It'll start coming through. You'll start getting these feelings, oh, wow, yeah, I want to paint again, man. I want to start drawing. And what will happen is, as you start getting back into that, you'll pick up that information a lot faster, as opposed to if you just tried to get back into art on yourself. Now, if you didn't get in contact with a probable self or any of these things, yes, you could probably still pick up your art skills. But if you focused on that past self, so-called past self of yours, that was into art at that time, and visualize that energy of it as a probable self that continued on his path as an artist, you'll advance even quicker. See what I'm saying? Because those bleed-throughs will start coming in. Why? Because that is the one connection, strong psychic link that you have with this other probable self, is art. It could be music, it could be anything. I'm just giving you some examples though. Now, we also have to be careful because this information is a two-way street. So this is why it doesn't help to focus on negative ideas, so-called negative ideas, and just bad thinking. Because if you're sitting around talking about, yeah, man, I can't believe what this person did to me back in '95, man, I'll never forgive him. Even though that time has passed and come and gone, if you're still dwelling on that and still focusing on that energy, that is the one connection that you still have. You might have a probable self that's still experiencing that level of reality. That you from 1995 is still existing and probably still in the mix of experiencing whatever that bad situation was. And that will be the one psychic link that you both have. So you'll start getting those bleed-throughs connecting through. And what can happen is you'll start feeling angry for no reason. You'll be sitting down one day, just chilling and relaxing. And next thing you know, out of nowhere, you start reliving the past, man. You'll be like, oh man, that punk motherfucker, I can't believe he did that. You know what I'm saying? You start tripping about this. And then you'll be like, damn, why did that come from? Why am I thinking about that? That happened way back, Why am I getting so heated over something that happened a long time ago? Well, now you know. Those are bleed-throughs coming through. So sometimes they can happen without you really thinking about it. We get bleed-throughs all the time. Everybody has these moments where one minute you're fine, suddenly you're down. Some people suddenly feel suicidal. They don't even know why. Just sitting down, relaxing, having a good day, and saying like, oh man, yeah, I just want to kill myself. And some people get like that, and they're like, why did that happen? Where did that come from? Damn, that was scary. But now you know. This is why you have to keep your mental training up. So when these ideas come into your mind, you can be aware of them, and you can be ready for them, and expect them. And you won't be worried about, what else? That's what I was gonna say. If you're aware of these things, you won't start thinking about demons and all that crazy shit, man. Because that's what people will tell you. That's what the church will tell you. If you went to a priest and said, "Yeah, I got these thoughts, and it was a thought that I should kill myself," they're gonna start working their voodoo on you, man. You'll be, oh well, listen, it's a demon from hell, and he's trying to get you to kill yourself, and you need to come to church more. And oh yeah, by the way, give us a donation. You know what I'm trying to say, though, man. Yeah. So don't worry about demons and all that crazy shit, man. Leave that alone. Don't even go that route. Look at this from another way. When you get negative thoughts or strange ideas or even motivational ideas, these could be coming in as bleed-throughs from other realities probable selves, and probable selves or reincarnational selves. It could be a reincarnational self also. That's, just say for example, going 2,000 years back or 100 years back. That was a skillful artist, and now that's bleeding through to you because it's a portion of you, and you guys are sharing that same soul energy. And it doesn't just work in the past. You could have a reincarnational self that's in the future, 1,000 years into the future. Now, this goes into when we start talking about spirit guides and all this type of things and energy coming down, giving you information. Your future selves give you information. Well, what do you think those are? They're not just probable selves in the future. It could also be reincarnational selves in the future that's getting this knowledge. So it goes in a circle, and the information gets passed back and forth, and we have to just be ready for it, and not let people enter our realms talking about demons and all that other crazy stuff. Forget about that. Now, I know there was... Okay, now, like I said, this won't be a long video, because I got to get out of here, but I had to make this video because I know people need some information. And my inner self told me I had to make this video. Not that he forced me to, but he said, hey man, you got an extra 30 minutes to make a video. So yeah. Now, the question somebody sent me was, hold up a minute, you know how I do it. I always got to whip out this iPad to get the info ready. Okay, this question is directed to, I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right, Satire Evil or Satire. I don't know how this person wants to pronounce it. Satire Evil. It's spelled Satireval. So Satireval or something like that. Sorry if I mispronounce it. Don't get mad. But yeah, this is one of our new sisters that joined. She joined the group, and she's getting on point with her stuff, and that's good. And what she said was, she was referring to my 8th video where I was talking about becoming dark and destroying entities, and I went on a rant and all that stuff. But yeah, it's about the 8th video. She says, you described in this video one of your dreams in which you became aware. So if you realized you were in your dream, who were the other persons then? Were they creatures of your subconscious mind, like in the movie Inception, or is it possible for someone real to enter another person's dream? Excellent question. Now, in that video, if I can remember clearly, I think I was talking about in the 8th video that some so-called demon-looking wannabe thing tried to approach me and come at me. And long story short, I handled it. If you want to know what happened, just jump back to the 8th video. You can hear the story. But yeah, I took care of him as I saw fit, gave him a spanking, and sent him on his way. Are they parts of my subconscious mind? Honestly, they could be. They could be. But like I said, there's so many different things going on when you enter into these so-called out-of-body states, astral realms, all these things, dream states. There's so many things going on that, especially in the dream state, you could have alternate timelines you're experiencing. It could be bleed through some other reality. It could be entities from other reality. It could be creations from your own subconscious mind. It could be all of them at one point, happening at the same time. Just example, you could be in this room, like I am now. I'm in this room, and this is a creation of my subconscious because this is my room. But when I look outside and open the balcony door, that could be a alternate universe or a parallel universe of this neighborhood that I'm in. Or it could be the way the neighborhood will look, for 50 years, 100 years from now. Or I could be in this room right now, in this out-of-body state or dream state, whatever you have you. And when I open the window, outside, it could be the past. It could be Japan, say, 50 years ago. And I say, man, I don't recognize this street. What's going on here? Okay, it's just a dream. This is the distortion. No, that could actually be a past way, how this street looked in the past, or how this neighborhood looked. And then in comes a so-called demon or some crazy thing, like, oh my God, it's a demon. So all these things, you know what I'm saying? All these things could happen all at the same time. All these realities are crossing through. This is why you need to practice, and you'll be able to start figuring out for yourself what is what. What's a distortion? What's a creation from your own subconscious mind? What is a probable reality? What is a parallel reality? Is this the future? Is this the past? These are things that I can't answer for you, and you really have to go deep within yourself and get this information. And it's not so much as getting information, it's more of a feeling, your own subjective feeling. You just know. You just have a feeling, okay, I know what this is, I know what that is. And whatever your answer is, it's correct because it's your answer and it's coming from yourself, not me and not anyone else. Now, the other portion of that, um, okay, the movie Inception. I'm not targeting satire. God, I'm sorry, this name, man. Satir Evo. I'm not targeting you, but I'm just making a quick comment because other people in the past have talked about Inception, so I'm not targeting you. But yeah, this movie Inception. Look, it was a movie, man, and I, I'm talking about people now over here on my end in Japan. I've met so many people that I talk to, and when we get into these subjects about dreams, they always bring up Inception. Like, yeah, well, I saw this in Inception, and people could go into your dreams, and there's a dream within a dream. And honestly, a lot of these people, they don't really know what the hell they're talking about, because Inception was a Hollywood film. The real dream state, or what we call the dream state, it is nothing like that. I mean, you have a scene, I forgot, there's some scene in the movie where the guy's shooting a gun, and the other guy goes, hey, think bigger, and he pulls out a bigger gun. Yeah, that's nice, but that's, excuse the language, that's baby shit, man. Because if that was the real dream state, they wouldn't even be sitting down shooting guns and driving cars and driving off bridges and all this other stupid stuff. There's nothing like that. They would have been flying, taking off, teleporting, using telekinesis. It would have looked like a real, it probably would have been better than the film, actually, if they would have showed how the real dream state is. And if you were a real dream master or dark artist or whatever title, they wouldn't even be stuck on that. I never get caught up in these things where, I mean, for me, and I'm not trying to put myself up as a king or anything, but that's so beneath me, man. Talking about guns and, driving a sports car and driving around and having a shootout. Yeah, I mean, even if I'm in a dream state and that type of nonsense BS is going on, I'll pick up to it real quick, and it actually helps me wake up into becoming conscious. Because I'm like, just say if I'm in some dream, I'm shooting a gun. Very quickly, man, my senses turn into so I was like, what the hell is this? Guns? Pfft, ain't dealing with this, man. Pick up that car and slam him with a telekinesis. That's how I get down. But yeah, so yeah, that's just a Hollywood blockbuster that was made for entertainment purposes. It didn't even touch on anything about real dreaming or anything like that. Now, if you want to use those models for your own personal preferences or reasons, yeah, then go ahead. If you like the idea of dreams within a dream, if it can help you become conscious, use it. But don't take it as that's the true way of how dreams really get down. And it's true. I mean, even in that movie, he said, think bigger. And although he pulled out a bigger gun, yes, dream bigger. Dream bigger when you go into these realities. Don't just stay stuck on, okay, yeah, I'm conscious now. Let me go get this gun. Think bigger, man. That's it. You know what you are. I said it 1,000 times. I keep saying it. God in training. Don't worry about that stuff. Now, before I get out of here, I said it's going to be a short one. Now, oh yeah, back to what she was saying also about can someone enter your dream? Um, yes, they can. And this works on many different levels. A person could it gets real technical, but a person could consciously enter another person's dream, but this would be more of a type of, how do I say this, like a shared thing, a shared idea where, and they call this, shared astral projection or shared lucid. I don't know, there's so many titles, man, but basically, yeah, if you have another person that's down with this type of stuff and you guys are in sync, you could try to set up a little meeting and say, okay, look, I'm going to go out of body, we're both going to go out of body, we're going to imagine this place, and when we close our eyes and go into our deep meditation states or a trance state, and we're going to meet up at this spot. And it could happen. Sometimes from the dream state or trance state, you might project into other people's realities. But the thing with this is, a lot of people are not conscious, so they won't remember it. They might see you there, you might talk, have a very deep conversation, go on some journeys, meet a few ladies or a few fellas, You know, it could be anything. Just have an all-out fantasy trip and have a good time, and then come back, and either A, this person won't remember it, B, you won't remember it, or C, neither one of you will remember it. So we meet up with each other in these states all the time, especially with people that you know, and even more with people from past lives or other lives or future selves, but we just don't remember it. Well, a lot of people don't if you're not training in this stuff. So, yeah. But don't worry about someone coming into your dreams and giving you nightmares and all that. Once again, that's Hollywood. Um, Now, I'm gonna say some people can work some powerful energy. You know, some people can work that mojo and get it working. And especially if you have a deep belief in this idea of someone's gonna come into your dreams and cause you drama, you make that a reality, and it kicks off that way. So you got to be careful about worrying about that. But if you listen to me and what I'm trying to put down, you won't be worried about that, because you'll say, "Hey, man, bring it. Whatever you want, you want to come in." People know I said this before. You step into my realms, wherever it is, so-called dream state, astral realm, deep trance state, wherever. If you come in to meet me, I'm a nice guy, and we could have a great time. We could travel together. We can talk knowledge. We could do a lot of things. We could make love. I'm just throwing it out there for the ladies, man. But yeah, man, we could do a lot of things. But if you're coming into my world, trying to mix shit up and cause some drama, we'll send you packing with a spanking. Now, anyway, real quick, before I go, I got to get this out. Man, you all know that, from the beginning of these videos, I've been saying I'm a god in training and I'm a dark artist, and I've been throwing out these titles that I want to use. Well, let me tell you this. I've been having some amazing adventures on the other realms. And I tell you this, man. I wasn't going to drop this on y'all, but can't do no harm because, it's just an experience. But it kicked off about a few weeks ago where it seems like once I really put that video out, I forgot which one it was, where I was saying that you are all gods in training. I'm the most powerful dark artist in the universe. I'm not trying to scare people, but sometimes you have to also be careful of the terms you use, because once you use these terms, there are other energies that feel threatened by your presence when you go into these realms, man. Serious, real talk. So what happens is, what happened was, because since I've been declaring myself and I've really been putting that energy out there, and I have my own way, I've been doing this on purpose. These energies, I don't know if they're getting upset or there's so many reasons, but they've been coming at me. And the first one that came at me was a few weeks ago. Now, I never get into Greek mythology and all these type of things and the gods and all this, but we have heard stories of the gods and all these, these names. And to tell you the truth, all those stories really come from us, because we are the gods, and we projected our true abilities. We forgot about our true abilities, and we started to project them outwards in an outward manner into stories and parables and all these different things. So all the stories of the gods, that's what's happening in our inner reality. But we forgot about that, and we started worshiping our own stuff, man. We started kicking this knowledge out and talking about our stories, and then at some point we caught this slight amnesia, and then we started worshiping our own stories, man. Talking about the gods on Olympus and all this. That's us. We're the gods, but we forgot about that. But that's another video. Anyway, so yeah, man, this God came to me, and like I said, whenever I have a great experiences, especially when I never think about any of these areas, and it just comes out of left field, out of nowhere. So I'm in this reality, man. I'm walking around, and Ares, the god of war, came, man. I was like, what the hell is this, man? And he approached me. I remember I was walking, and he looked at me. And I said, who are you? And it was Ares. He said, I'm Ares. It's Ares, the god of war. And he had this just anger, man. And I don't know what it was, but he was pissed, man. And he came at me, and he motioned his hand. He did something, and it was like the sky went black. And when I looked up, the sky was black. I thought it was just black. It was arrows, man. He was sending like 1,000,000, God knows how many arrows, enough to block out the sun. The sky was black, man. There was all these arrows coming at me. But you know me, can't stop me, man. What did I tell you? I'm God in training too, man. And the most powerful dark artist. So he sent these arrows at me. I motioned my hand with telekinesis. I just knocked them to the side. And then he called forth this kind of like, man, if people talking about dreams are nothing more than just, or these trance states and all these things are nothing more than just brain chemistry, I tell you this, we could put Hollywood blockbusters out of business in a heartbeat if we had the ability to record what we were experiencing. Because this shit, excuse the language, this stuff, man, was so powerful and so real. It was like, even as I was experiencing this, I was like, God damn, man. In my head, 'cause I was like, this is cool. And I was battling this god. Now, I'm not saying it was the actual Ares god of war, but that's what he said. So, now, so he came at me, and he summoned these two creatures, man. It was some crazy looking thing. It was like a kind of squid, sea monster type of thing. And I remember as it was coming out the ground or the water, wherever it was, I was just looking at the detail. And I was like, because every time I cross over, I really try to focus on everything. I get so excited, and there's so much energy flowing. It's, I'm battling this guy, and then I'm also trying to take in all the details at the same time. And I'm also, I said before in my other videos, I'm balancing between kicking this guy's ass and not getting too excited that will pull me out of this state back to the body. So we summoned these creatures, and then we were battling. And long story short, I took care of them and sent them packing. Then, the other night, I crossed over, man. I was back home, my old neighborhood. And yeah, I was in the neighborhood, I was looking around, and I was at this block where there used to be a church, a Jehovah's Witness church, and there were some thugs, man, some fake gangsters outside. They were messing with me, man. They were just messing with me for no reason. And they was bullying me, trying to bully me around and shit, man. So, what did I do? You know me. And now at this time, I was not conscious. I wasn't conscious. I knew I was there, but I wasn't aware like I usually am with my body and all this stuff. So I said it before. For some reason, I have this kind of defensive mechanism where when things come at me, it automatically makes me awaken. So if any type of danger comes at me, I automatically become consciously aware, even if I originally wasn't. So I saw some rocks, man. I said, man, screw these guys. I picked up some rocks. I started throwing them at them. And I hit like 2 of them in the head. And it was like 5 dudes. They got real angry. They started chasing me. So I was running to the station. And like I said, I was running. I got to the station. I was going up the stairs. And that familiar feeling started kicking in. I said, wait a minute. Why am I running? And when I turned around, as usual, they were out because they realized I was fully awake. And they took off running back up the hill. So I jumped over this banister and started flying, and then they disappeared. I said, well, how they went? So I went looking. Man, I was on a mission. I was on a mission. I was hunting these guys down. I was going down all the old blocks where my family lives at. And I went down one block, and there was a type of fiesta going on, man. It was like some festival they was having. And I was like, you seen these guys? They was like, no. I went back, and I went down this one street that I'm familiar with. And I saw this one guy, man. It was this big guy with muscles. He was like, I don't know, he was kind of like a lookout. He was a big dude. He had muscles, real built. And he was on the corner with shades on. I was like, yo, man, you see any gangbangers down here? And he was like, yeah. So I went down the street. And I don't know, man. I think it was, man. I think I was looking for a fight, man. I really wanted to get these guys, man, because I hate when anybody comes into my realm, man, trying to, boss me around and stuff. So I went down the street. I couldn't find them. And there was some other shady characters there, but I couldn't, they weren't worth my time. I was spending or wasting time trying to handle them. But when I turned around, it was this person. And it was a real tall person, taller than me, man. I'm a little bit tall, but the person was tall. They had long blonde hair. And at the time, it looked like a man, but it was kind of like a little feminine. I wasn't sure. So we both locked eyes, and I just felt this energy, man. It was like, it was trying to come at me. And telepathically, it was a god. It was I don't know what god it was, but it was some type of god. And it came charging at me, man, like light speed. Boom, it took off. And you know me, I never turned down an astral challenge. So I went for it, man. I didn't care. Matter of fact, I think I charged at it first because I seen it coming towards me like it was aggressive. So I said, forget this, man. I went at it. Boom! I hit it. Sent it flying. But we started battling out in the middle of the street. And at one point, I hit it so hard, it went flying across like this kind of bridge in this river. It went flying across the river toward these projects I'm familiar with. Back in the hood, and went flying out toward these projects. And when I looked back, the dude that was on the corner, a matter of fact, I think he told me, he was like, "She's a god," and I said, "A god?" And then I got more excited. I was like, "Yes, a god!" And this person, and then I was like, "It's a she," so I was even more shocked. I was like, "Wow!" So this person, this female goddess or god, came flying back like at light speed. I mean, it was kind of like a sonic boom because when I hit her so hard, she went flying. I didn't know it was a woman at that time. And then you heard like a boom, and you could see her flying back real quick. I mean, man, this was better than any Hollywood blockbuster, I could tell you that. So when I look back at this dude, he was like, "She's a god," and he was real nervous. This guy was big. He was bigger than her with muscles. And he got real nervous, and he started running. He took off running, man. And that's when I knew. I said, "Oh man, this is getting serious." So she came flying back. She landed in the street, and then she looked at me, and then she took off running. And she was running so fast, man, like the Flash. I mean, she was moving, and I could see her speed. I mean, the speed was unbelievable. She was really coming at me, and then I took off. I kind of crouched down. I took off running towards her, and right when we got face to face, I sidestepped and I clotheslined her, and I just can't explain how detailed this was. I clotheslined her, and she went kind of spinning. She did like a backward kind of spinning in the air. And when she hit the ground, I grabbed her by her ankle, and I slammed her left to right to each side a few times. And she was dazed. But still at this time, even though he had said like she's a goddess, he said she's a god, it still kind of looked like a man, man. So I was a little bit confused. Is this a man or a woman, man? What's going on here? So because I slammed him on the floor, on the ground a few times, I mean, he was really dazed, or she was dazed. He was dazed and trying to crawl away. And then I grabbed him by the back of his neck, and I wanted to know if this was a man or woman. And I said this before, I didn't try to skin nobody, but when these things come at me, I get pretty aggressive. So I grabbed it by the back of his neck, and I tore off his clothes, and I saw that it was a woman. And I was shocked. Oh, it is a woman. And at that point, I thought, well, I guess it's time to absorb this power. And I held her down. I put my hand up like that, like over her, and I got this little thing that I do when I go out of body. I was really channeling this energy, and I was gonna plunge my hand, just drain this energy out of her because I wanted to get that knowledge. And oh man, I started feeling myself pulling back, and I was using all my psychic ability, man, and I felt myself really battling not to get pulled back to the body. And I went for it, and I tried to grab, and at that point, boom, I just came back to the body. I was like, damn. I really wanted to get that knowledge. And like I said, this is just something that I do. Where I like to get this knowledge out of these things that I encounter. But anyway, I couldn't get the well. I didn't feel so bad actually because this thing this person said that it was a god and that I had handled it so effectively. I felt like, well, I guess I achieved something for myself. Now, the reason I just told you all this little story was this. These things, you got to understand, not only are there other realities, but you're also battling with your own inner realities. Now, when I say battle, I mean you have to battle, and I don't want to cause any internal struggle between yourselves, but sometimes what you got to do is you got to clean house, man. And this what comes in with the astral temple and the meditation. And I told you about the inner city you could create and create your inner temple. When you start traveling into your own inner realities, you need to sometimes go in and put these things in check. Remember, like that one comment somebody asked, are these things real or my own subconscious? It doesn't matter. Even if it's my own subconscious, when I'm there, these things are real. And these things could cause you harm in your life while you're here in the physical reality. Because you can start worrying about these things, and this when nightmares come in, and like, oh my God, I don't want to sleep. Then you got insomnia. I don't want to sleep because I'm going to have a nightmare about this demon or this god or these gods, or they're going to get me and they're going to punish me. So sometimes you need to say, all right, sit down, go into your inner reality and say, you know what, I need to go in and take care of these things, my little fears or whatever fears I have. I need to school them. And if you do this in your deep meditation states, in your trance states, and really, well, there's no difference, but when you start visualizing, you're going into these realms and you handle these things, when you go to bed, if you so happen to cross over, you're not going to be worried about that stuff because that thinking is going to cross over with you. So when you do encounter these things, and it can be scary, I know, because I've been there, but when they're face to face with these things, when you're face to face with these things, you're going to handle them just the same way, and you're not going to be worried about any of this stuff. So yeah, even your own inner reality, you need to go into yourself and give these things a spanking and put them in check. Because if you don't, they're just running wild. And this is with so many people. This is the case. People don't meditate. They don't go into their trance states. They don't go into their own inner realities. And this is why people be going through all this drama, man. They be wondering, why am I so angry? Why am I stressed out? Nobody did nothing to me. Well, go inside your inner temple, your inner reality, and put things in order. Get your house straight. That's what it's all about, you know. Yeah, you got to go inside and you got to put these things in order. Because, you know, like I said, people be talking, oh man, I woke up, I had a nightmare, oh, I'm having bad dreams. I just be looking at these people, man, you know, and especially people I know personally, you know, they be like, yo, man, I had a nightmare, oh, I mean, waking up in cold sweats and all this crazy stuff, man, oh, I had a nightmare. I'd be like, oh, what should I do? I said, well, I keep telling you to meditate. Why don't you meditate? Ah, I ain't got time for no meditation. Well, have fun getting your ass kicked in the astral realms, because that's what's going to happen to you every time you cross over. Excuse the language, everybody, but I have to say it. Yes, if you don't meditate, if you don't start projecting yourself as that God and as that, you know, that dark artist or that whatever title you want, if you don't start putting your energy there, you're going to get your ass whooped every time you go out of body into these realms. Because these things are not playing, man. They know how to work these realms. While we're here, they're back on the other side right now as you're watching this video in their own reality, man. And when you cross over, you're just like a visitor. You say, oh, what's going on? I'm here. Oh, somebody said this is the dream state, or these are other realms, but no, I have to believe science because science is just brain chemistry. Why are you worried about that? These things are like, let's get them. Because you're just an easy victim, man, when you cross over like a fish out of water. You don't know what's going on, and these things know. So yeah. Man, I said this was going to be a short video, but you know, once I start talking, man, I can't stop. I can't stop. We already hit 43 minutes, man. I apologize. It wasn't a short video. But yeah, that's all I got to say for now. Let me see. Did I leave anything out? Did I leave anything out? Yeah, so summarize. Yeah, once you start declaring yourself as whatever name you want, God in training, dark artist, sorcerer, witch, whatever, magician, sometimes you might trigger these energies and they might they might feel threatened by their position, because what happens is you're trying to rise to their level. And I said this before, well, I probably haven't said this, but I came up with this one idea once, that all these so-called gods and demons and voodoo, not voodoo, but these so-called patrons and all these entities out here and deities, how did they become deities? Nobody ever questions that. How did this popular deity that thousands or millions of people are worshiping, how did they become a deity? They could have been simply choice A. They could have been a person just like you or me who started saying, I am a deity, I am a god, and at some point they got other people to believe in them, or once they crossed over and they died in their physical life, they continued that energy, and you know, people picked up on it, man, and you know, they got people worshiping them now. Or it could be other energy that has never been a physical reality, and it was someone's thought form, and it just started to get more powerful because many people were believing it, and now it's running its own, you know, it's writing its own story right now, you know. So yeah, that's all I have to say on that. If you want to be a god, you might have to battle some of the gods. And they might not be actual gods, but they're gods within you that might feel challenged. Now, before I go, I came across this the other day. Now, I don't even know why I'm showing this, but my inner self told me I need to go to this store. It kept pushing, you gotta go to this store, you gotta go to this store today. I went to the store, I didn't see anything that I was looking for or of interest. Right before I left, it said look up. I looked up and I found this. Beautiful. It's made from wood. It's a wood sculpture. And it's a cobra, giant cobra. I don't know if you can see this clear. Just giving you a little visual right here. But yeah, it's a wooden cobra. I mean, I just fell in love the moment I saw it because I like snakes. You know, I do like snakes. And you can see that there. Yeah, the detail is amazing. Comes all the way up and you just set it down. It stays behind my bed where I sleep at. You know, give me that little protection when I cross over in these realms. Not that I need it, but it's good anyway. I like snakes. Well, I can't show you now, but my serpents are on me. I got tattoos of serpents all over, and dragons and all these other things. But yeah, so sometimes, like I said, sometimes your inner self will guide you to nice treasures. All right, I got to get out of here. I hit 45. I apologize. Peace, love, and harmony. As always, I love all of you. Keep practicing. Don't let the haters keep you down. Don't let them tell you that astral projection and that mental magic and all this meditation stuff is bullshit. They're just jealous and they don't know who they are. You know who you are, and that's it. Take care. Bye-bye.